joining me here, what I'm going to do is tell you a little bit about the fish you can see in this tank in front of us, and then I'm going to sort of concentrate down a little bit and give you a bit of information about one of the most amazing creatures that you can get on this planet, I feel anyway. One of my favourite animals, the shark. Now there are some sharks in here, and once I'm done, you can actually come and buy a pot of food up with me, and you can have a go at feeding all the animals in this tank as well at the end. So hopefully you'll be able to stick around for long enough whilst I'm talking away, and you can get yourself a pot of food at the end and have a go at feeding some of our animals. So to start off with, I'll just give you a bit of information about what it is that you're looking at. Now some of these fish might be familiar to a lot of you, but some of them might not be. And we have a few of them in here just because they're quite unusual and quite exciting animals. So things that might be a bit familiar to you, probably to quite a lot of you, in fact, will be these mackerel down here. And they're actually a schoolie kind of fish. They're very common if you want to know what they look like. And they're a special sort of fish that schools get. A lot of fish do this, they actually have this behaviour, and it's when protecting themselves. So what they essentially do is they stick themselves together in massive numbers, and the idea then is that it confuses predators. So it makes it a little bit confusing to lots of people, lots of things like sharks that might want to try and eat these guys. It also gives the impression that they're actually one big animal rather than lots and lots of little animals. Again, just to put things off from eating them. So the idea is that they're trying to just prevent from being eaten. Now these things obviously are eaten, and another fish that we do eat as well are the gilt-head bream. Now bream are a sort of fish that lots of people like to eat, and they're a really good kind of sustainable fish. So one of the reasons that we have them in here is just because they're an example of a fish that is a sustainably farmed animal. And we have them just down in this particular one in this corner at the moment. In fact, you'll notice them anyway, because they're absolutely massive, big silver-coloured fish. And there's two of those, and they're just down here. Now some of the fish that are a little bit more unusual are things like a turbot. Now, good luck finding all of those on the bottom, but they blend in absolutely amazingly. A turbot are these flat fish that you can see on the bottom of the tank down, usually down at the front edges there. And they can actually change their colour to match with the bottom of the water, which is what they've done. And they do that for a couple of reasons. One, just to keep themselves nice and camouflaged, so that nothing eats them. And two, so that they can be nice and camouflaged, so that they can eat things and take them by surprise. Now the turbot are quite cool because they start out their life as normal shaped fish, and it's only as they get a bit older that they actually start to lay on their side, and once they start to lay on their side, their eyes and things move around their body so that they can actually live them the rest of their lives just laid out on their sides. And again, as I was saying, that's just for a bit of camouflage for these guys. Now on top of that as well, we've got some other fish in here that are a bit unusual in their own way. We've actually got some cuckoo rats in here. Now cuckoo rats, like a lot of rats as well, they've got a really sort of strange technique of reproducing. So what they actually do is they start out their life as a kind of pinky orange colour, quite small and female. And as they get a bit older, what they do, after they maybe laid some eggs and had some babies, is that they reach adulthood, they turn blue, they grow a bit, and they become male. And then when they're male, they can then go off and find another female, and they can have more babies. It's really quite it's an unusual sort of thing that happens, but some fish in the sea do this. Things like catfish have been known to do it as well. If there's no females available or no males available, one of them can just turn, and they tend to do this in places where there's not very many of them around. So that's the cuckoo rats. And you can see a couple of those down on this side of the tank here. And finally as well, we've got a couple of lobsters. So there's two lobsters that hide in these tubs here. Tend not to see these guys actually until the end of feeding, when they tend to pop out just to see what's going on. And so we also tend to see what's going on in the bottom as well. So the lobsters will come out and they'll feel around on the bottom for whatever's left. And the tub burnard as well is another sort of fish that do just that. And they actually have a special kind of fin on the front of their body that doesn't have this webbing in the middle to help them swim. There's one fish that was run down here. They're a kind of green and orange fish. And what they have are these special fins that essentially look a little bit like legs. And what they do is they have taste buds on the ends of them, and they use them to sort of like break around in the sand at the bottom and see if there's anything edible in there that they might want to eat, and then they'll fish that out from the bottom. And they use these sort of adapted fins for that purpose. But as well as that, we actually have two of the most important creatures in here. We have some rays and some sharks. Now rays and sharks are related, so all these ones in here are distantly related to one another. And the rays that we have in here, they're not stingrays, so that's a bit of a misconception. Most people seem to think that all rays are stingrays. That's not the case at all. And most of the rays that you find around our waters are don't actually sting. And these are just one such. These are actually called thornback rays, and you can see them sort of all over the place. They pop their noses out of the water for a couple of reasons. One, to have a look and see what's going on, and two, because they think that we're going to feed them, which again we are going to shortly. But I wouldn't discourage them to say this now, because there's lots of signs that are overall listening anyway. Just to make sure that even though they are coming, popping their noses out of the water, It's not for a fuss, so please do refrain from touching them, because it can actually lead to horrendous infections in their skin and it can make them quite ill. So we do try to avoid that from happening wherever possible. So I'd just like to discourage you from putting your hands into this water, unless you've got your glove on and you're giving them their lunch later on. Now, not only that, the water can get mucky as well, so that's not very nice. But what I really want to concentrate on are our sharks, and just sharks in general as well. Now the sharks that you see in here aren't really what you imagine sharks to look like. They're really quite small. Lots of sharks are very small, and these are two of our native sharks that you'll find. And one of them is called the lesser spotted dogfish. They're a creamy sort of coloured shark, and they're only about this kind of size, so they're not particularly big. They tend to sort of go backwards and forwards around the front there. And the lesser spotted dogfish, sometimes also known as the rock salmon, because people do eat them. They're caught for food, and when they're sold in fish and chip shops, they're known as rock salmon. So that's just one of our kinds of native sharks. And then we also have another sort, there's one of the lesser spotted just at the front there, they're quite small. The other one that we have, which is a little bit bigger, is known as the Miller's Hound or the bullhound, or sometimes the greater spotted dogfish as well. So I have lots of different names, but it is for the same shark. And that's a sort of big brown spotted kind of shark. Generally they rest down here until there's food available, so you'll probably see those again in a little bit when you're actually feeding these guys. Then we've got two sorts of sharks that we have in our waters, just outside around our coast. They're in a little bit of trouble, I suppose, at the moment. There's not much protection going on. And what we do here is we actually breed those guys. So if you've noticed already, or if you haven't, maybe take a look later on, we do actually breed them. We have a little nursery, there's two small cats just behind you guys there. And with some of the babies in, some of the eggs as well. So these guys lay eggs. And babies are in those eggs for sort of about 9 months before they hatch out. Not all sharks do lay eggs, and they'll actually give birth to live babies as well. Our ones will definitely do lay their eggs. The sharks are absolutely amazing, so even these really small ones in here, and right up to the sorts of sharks that everybody's really familiar with, they're really, really cool animals. They've been around for an absolute, for really millions of years. Over 400 million years, they've actually been around longer even than the dinosaurs have, in some way, shape or form. And the fact that they've been around so long just means that they've had lots and lots of time to evolve into these absolutely amazing hunters, so they're perfect for what they do. They've got loads of features in their bodies that just enable them to be absolutely wonderful hunters, to go after things that they might want to eat, to grab them efficiently, to look really good at what they do. And like I said, we've got lots of things that sort of help them with this. So, for example, the way that they're built is really quite clever. Now their skeleton, for example, we actually have a skeleton that's made out of bone. And we need that so that we can keep upright, so we can kind of retain our sort of structure. And actually sharks need a skeleton as well, because they do have a structure that they need to keep. But their actual skeleton is made out of cartilage, which is the stuff that's inside your nose and inside your ears. And you can, if you give your ears a bit of a wiggle, you'll see what I mean. It's really, really flexible, but it's also really tough as well. So it means that they're nice and tough and strong and supported, but also that they can go through water really flexibly. So that's really useful for them to sort of change their direction, grabbing hold of their food and getting themselves around. And to help them as well with cutting through the water, what they have as well is a special sort of skin. And their skin is covered in lots of tiny little teeth-like structures, which are called denticles. And these denticles are really cool. They're sort of tailed all over their body, and they sort of stick up a bit like this. And in the past, people used to actually fish the sharks and use their skin for polishing wood. And they use it in the same way that we use sandpaper now, because their skin, because of these denticles, is extremely rough. If you were to rub your hand the wrong way along the shark, which I'll never recommend you try, it could actually cut your fingers because it is really rough. And that's just enables them to cut through the water and reduces the friction. It means that they can reach speeds somewhere in the region of 60 miles an hour if they need to be able to chase after their food. That's really quite cool. But once they'll need to grab hold of their food, they obviously need teeth and claws to help them with that. And as I was saying that their entire skeleton is made out of cartilage, there's a bit of a different story with their jaws. Their jawbone is made out of bone, and that's just to keep it nice and tough so that they can cut through their food and grab it. And their teeth are really special as well. They're quite, obviously, I don't know if any of you are familiar with shark teeth, but they're sort of triangle shapes, little serrated teeth, they're really quite sharp. But their teeth are actually really cool because they can have up to 7 rows at any one time in their mouth. So they can have lots and lots of teeth all at once. And the reason for this is because then if they were to lose a tooth, usually from the front, if they're grabbing hold of something, because their teeth came out for whatever reason, another one from behind it will be able to push forward, and that front row of teeth then will be perfectly fine again. And then another one will grow in at the back, and they'll have these rows of teeth again, and it just means then that they're always going to be able to grab hold of and cut up their food. And sharks can actually get through somewhere in the region of 20,000 teeth in their lifetime, so they can just keep growing them and keep growing them as much as they need to. They'll never be visited by a dentist, and they'll never have no teeth, which is very useful because they always need those teeth to be able to survive. and their actual bodies that help them, their senses give them an edge in their environment as well. Now people, we obviously have 5 senses. We have the sense of touch, sight, taste, smell, and I forgot which one I missed now. Hearing, that's definitely enough. They've got lots of senses anyway, and they share those senses with us. They also have 2 extras as well that really give them the edge and make them absolutely wonderful. Now the senses that they share with us, some of them are actually better than others. For example, their sense of sight. Sharks can actually see 5 times better than people can. They can see in full colour because of the part. Some are colourblind, but for the most part they can see in full colour. They can have very perceptive. They've got absolutely amazing eyesight. And this just means that they actually, they're really good at what they're looking for. They know where they're at, they know what they're eating, they know what they're going for. And I'll get onto that a little bit later on as well. And this is helped as well by their sense of smell, which is much, much better than ours. So it's kind of a well-known fact, I suppose, that sharks can smell blood from a mile away. And that is true, they can smell blood from a mile away. And there was, for example, a big swimming pool, an Olympic-sized swimming pool, quite a large body of water. If you were to put 1 drop of blood into that pool, it would know where that drop was, it would be able to smell it. And that's really useful for them because obviously blood indicates that something's injured. And sharks are quite lazy really, and if they were to be able to go after something that's hurt, they'd rather go after that and not have to put much effort in. Then it's able to go and have to find something that's available so they should usually get away from them. So being able to smell blood is really useful. And the sense of touch, not particularly good in comparison to ours, so basically all they can do is sense if something's touching them. That's kind of useful for them. It just means that they can look around things and they know if they're going to be sort of touched and attacked as well. It's one of the reasons why they're a bit wary of things like people, because people might just sort of go in and go, oh that's nice, and touch it. They don't like it, so they try and get away. If they can, they're quite a shy animal really. And they have these senses that are a lot better than ours. Their eyesight's really good, their smell's really good, their hearing is helped by one of their other senses, so their hearing itself isn't particularly amazing. But they don't really need that because underneath the water, not really a lot of noise. The sense of hearing is not particularly good. What they do have is a thing called lateral eye, which is almost like a developed eardrum that goes all along their body that can feel vibrations. So sound is essentially a vibration anyway. These vibrations they can feel, and it means that they know if there's something around them, if there's something alive around them, which is useful in itself because then they know if there's something that they're going to actually go for. This is helped as well by something else that is actually amazing, which is actually this thing called electrical reception. And what this is, it's a lot of pores in their skin that are connected to an organ in their body known as the acrylic moranine. And what this organ basically does is it can detect chemical changes in the water and also electrical changes in the water as well. Now, an example of a chemical change in the water, I don't know if any of you, maybe it's just a bit of a conclusion here, but if you were to go into the water and you were sort of going diving into the sea and you needed to go to the toilet, what you generally do is try and have a bit of a sneaky bit in the sea and hope nobody would notice. And nobody probably would notice, but the sharks would. And these vampires are indeed this organ in their body can detect that urine and it knows that it's chemical. And that's often why sharks can investigate people around the water. There's these chemicals in the water. The chemicals, another thing that it senses are electrical currents. And every muscle that moves gives out an electrical current, even if it's absolutely tiny. And if something's thrashing around and you're in a lot of trouble, and it's going like absolutely, around the legs or skin or whatever it is in the water going up this while, the electrical current that gives out is a lot bigger, so the shark will know there's something in distress, and it will actually go over and have a bit of an investigate of that. Now, sharks also have a sense of taste. This is another thing I'm going to get onto in a short while. They do actually have taste preferences, and there are some things that sharks will not eat. And one of those things are actually people. They never ever eat people because they don't like the taste of them. Our diet are just not fishy enough for their liking. And what sharks do with this sense of taste is they basically give a test bite to whatever it is they're going to eat first. So when they're actually hunting, what they'll do is they'll grab something and they'll sort of back off for a little bit, find if the taste is nice. If they hunt it, they'll circle back around and go back and eat the rest of it. But if they don't like the taste of it, they will literally just leave it where it is. Something else might like the taste of it. Instead they realise that they'll just leave it there and it's not any use to them anymore. So they won't go after it. And so all of those things just really mean they're really efficient when it comes to starters. And also really like things up, they know what they want, they know what they're going, they know what they're looking at. Unfortunately, because they're so good at hunting and so good at getting through the water, it has given them a bit of a bad reputation with people. And certain things, like for example, a cult film that we're all quite familiar with, I would imagine, has given the sharks a bit of a bad reputation as these sort of things that would, come onto the beaches around us and go, there's a person going to eat that one, there's another one going to eat that one. But that's really not the case at all. People aren't actually in that much trouble, not much danger really from sharks. I mean, we can get a lot of people who come in here and they come up to me and say they won't even go paddling just in the sea outside there in case Joel's jumped out and grabs them. But it's not a thing that we should be scared of. People are actually more likely to be killed by things like vending machines and refrigerators falling on top of them than they are to be killed by a shark. So, we're not too concerned about getting your chocolate out of your vending machine. We really should be concerned about being dragged up and eaten by a shark. And actually more likely even to win the jackpot on the lottery than even be bitten by one of his to start with. So the risk of being attacked by a shark is absolutely tiny. And it's usually the other way around. To put it into perspective a little bit, how many people around the world are actually being by the sea? Every single year, only 10 people in total are ever killed by sharks. There's 10 people out of all the people in the world ever killed by a shark. Now on the same sort of flip side, in that same year, between 70 and 120 million sharks are killed by people. So really it's dangerous to them, not to us. And it's either because of things that people want from sharks, or because, well, we're quite scared of them. We really ought not to be, like I'm saying. There's not really that much of a risk of getting happening. And because we're at 85% of all the shark species that we get in the world aren't actually big enough to cause any trouble. Like the ones in here, for example, if we were to sort of get bitten by one of these, if they were to test and see whether we were tasty or not, if someone were getting the bite, which would be like, and that's literally it, like, we don't really do very much to it. But most sharks in the world aren't that big, they're not actually able to do that. There's only about 5 species of sharks out of all 260 that are big enough to actually cause fatalities in people. So you've got things like jaws, the great white shark, you've got bull shark, tiger shark, and things like that. And they can cause harm to people.
Have a look down here.
All it generally is actually a case of mistaken identity. So these sharks have actually made a bit of a mistake. And it's partially our fault because we're in their water in the first place.
See how much top are?
We tend to go in the water dressed in a wetsuit, which gives us a sleek black outline. We look like something that already lives in the water. A sleek outline generally is something that would be able to swim quite well. Now you combine this with the fact that when we're swimming, generally what we do is this, arms and legs going all over the place. And this gives off this electrical current that they sort of mistake for a floating animal, a dying animal. And generally what the shark will think is that we are a dying seal. So when we're in the water, having sneaky bees, smashing our arms and legs about, wiggling around all over the place, the shark makes a bit of a mistake. What it will do is it will come over and take its chest bite, and it will realise we taste awful, and it will leave us behind. So there is never really been a case of sinner really that actually has ever been a case of a shark actually eating a person. All that's happened is it's taken this chest bite and it's left us alone. But fortunately, we're out in the middle of the water. It does take a long time for us to get any help, and sometimes people do die by shark attacks because they're not getting help soon enough and they're actually bleeding out. So sharks have got a lot of teeth and they can hurt if they get used to it. But it's just a case of they make a mistake. And it's that reason for us to be too scared to get into the water. And as I was saying, it really is the other way around. The sharks are in a lot of trouble because of people. And because of this fear of it, things that we want from them. So one of the things that we do try and take from sharks actually is their fins. Shark finning is a massive issue. It's actually illegal in a lot of places. Almost all places in fact. There's so many loopholes in the law, and people are still doing it on this massive scale. So 70 million sharks every year are being taken for their fins. Approximately, it can be up to 120 million. That's absolutely loads. And it's meaning that there's lots of sharks now out there in the world that are becoming a bit more vulnerable. So obviously you've got this scale from actually no danger whatsoever to endangered. And the sharks are actually edging more towards this endangered side of the scale just due to people taking them out of the water. When they're taking them their fins, it's really barbaric. Because what they're doing is literally pulling them out, taking their fins off them, and then just throwing them back in while they're still alive. So these sharks are actually bleeding to death in the water, they're being eaten by other things. It's really, really not very kind. And they used to things like shark fin soup, which is a ridiculous idea. Shark fins are made of cartilage, and this is just like nutritional value. They're cooked by other things usually, and they're sold for like £100–200 a bowl. It's ridiculous, and it's mainly just a status symbol. That's why people are still shark fooding because people are still buying stuff. So we do try and discourage, and I would like to say to any of you guys, if you do go somewhere, usually abroad, and they offer you something like shark fin soup or any products that are made from sharks or that have got shark ingredients, please do refrain from buying them because it's a thing we're not trying to support. So we are trying to protect our oceans. And actually what we're doing is trying to protect our ocean as well, because these ones that we've had in here are being fished by accident occasionally as a byproduct as well. We've not got protection in our waters. We do concentrate on sort of well-known sharks up there, and it's still sort of having a bit of an issue as well. But what they do at the moment is actually tagging these sharks that we have around us. And the government have basically said that if we can tag enough sharks and then follow where they're feeding and track them, what we can do is then find information about areas of the oceans around us, where these guys are spending a lot of time feeding, or where they're spending a lot of time hunting, just where they're generally spending a lot of their time. And the government said if we can give them that information, what they can do in return is actually protect the areas of the ocean where they're going to go, which will hopefully then discourage things from happening to these guys. It means that nothing will actually happen to them. As I said, we do have this breeding thing going as well, just in case it was, is unsuccessful. So we actually have a captive population going that we can start to introduce our captive farms if we needed to. Additionally, we can give to other centres and other aquariums, so they're not having to fish the longback rays or dogfish and bulbous things out of our waters. So we are trying our best to protect our ones, but you can help yourselves as well, just sort of providing things, just making people aware, joining in with signing petitions, joining in with shark week and things like this if you can help it. We try and do that, and that's the thing that we do in the project. And also, it sort of helps us fund all of our organisations. It helps us fund all the events that we do for Shark Week, while you guys just come in and pay to visit here at Scarborough tonight. So I'd like to thank you very much for that. Another way that you can help is by buying one of these lots of swing which I've got up here, which I'm sure is the reason why you all came anyway. So I apologise, I did lots of talking beforehand. What I actually have here are some pots full of squid, and you can pay £1 for a pot. I'll give you a glove as well, and you can actually have a go at feeding all of the animals in this tank. I said all of them because literally everything in here will eat that squid. So it could be a ray, it could be a shark, it could be a fish as well, it's a lobster and one now, and you can actually have a go at feeding all of these animals. So that's £1 a pot, and that helps us to fund our tagging that we're doing, just to enable us to protect our sharks, our really important animals, because they're absolutely lovely animals. They're beautiful and they're really important as well, because they're right at the top of the food chain. And so, they're responsible for keeping everything else under control. And if you take them out, you cause the little things in the food chain to actually sort of like food, and then it can cause quite a lot of issues. So we do need them to keep stability, and they're not a lot of trouble to us, and they're absolutely beautiful as well. And it seems a shame, we've been around for so many millions of years, that we start to kill them off now. So we are trying to protect them. Like I say, I'm selling these bits of food just here. What you want to do is just put your hands into the water really lovely, wiggle it about a bit if you want to. Just keep it in there so these guys can actually smell it. Once it gets to your hands, just let go before they grab it out of your fingers. You can just do it in your gullet or eat it in that way if you want to. And once you've done it, you bring your empty gloves and your empty pots back to me, and then I can actually recycle those as well. So just make sure that you bring those back up to me. Thank you very much for listening to me anyway. We've got another talk at 2 o'clock, so you've got plenty of time to do this and then make it to that one. That's on the options outside too, if you're interested. Otherwise, like I was saying, thank you very much for listening to me.